everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome the newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey by hitting that subscription button. It's free, and hit the bell notification to be notified of the new uploads. I would just like to mention that if the video is a little bit too fast for you, up top there's 3 little buttons. You can click there, slow down the video to the speed you'd like. Also, right next to it, there's the CC letters for closed caption. You can turn that on, and you can read all the stitch that I'm calling down here. By pausing the video, take notes, will make it easier for you. Now, normally when I upload the videos, it takes about an hour for YouTube to search all my words that I'm saying, so it can appear on the closed captions. So don't panic if you don't see right away the closed captions, because the video has just been launched. It will show up in about a half an hour to an hour after the upload. I also would like to mention that if you have extra yarn, extra thread, and you'd like to help the women in need, we highly appreciate it and being very, very grateful for it. Thank you for the ones that already have helped and are still helping. If you'd like to donate, right below the video, there's a little bag of $. You can donate whatever amount you'd like. Nobody's asking for millions. Anything helps. It adds up at the end. You can also go into the description box. My PayPal account is there. You can donate through there if you'd like also. Please always give a thumbs up on the video if you like the video. It does help the video to circulate and also to be recognized worldwide. I gratefully appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's one way to help me out and to help to continue to create these beautiful pieces. Also share on your Facebook public. It costs nothing. Everything is free. There's no charge of anything. So please help out to grow the channel. I do have a Facebook group, private group. If you have a profile, you're more than welcome to request to be a member. It's free, of course, and we'll approve you. You must have a profile. Be careful with the links that you go into the groups that says cut and bit. These are fraud scammers that go through your phones, your computers, and take every information of yours. Do not open up those links. There's a lot of hackers in the groups now. That's why I made sure that my group is private. I want to thank every single one of you from the start being with me, and thank you so much for the newcomers. It costs nothing to subscribe, so please do so. Thank you so much, everybody. Everything will be listed always in the description box for every pattern that I create, the sizes, the thread that I use, which is Portugal thread. They're 100% cotton thread, 4-ply, which is similar to Aunt Lydia. Number 3, which number 3 Aunt Lydia is just a little bit thicker than my thread, not by much, but a little bit. I usually use a hook 3 or 3.5, a small one for tucking in loose ends, and a pair of scissors, of course. So thank you, everybody. Any other questions, suggestions, please feel free to comment. You can always get a hold of me if your intentions are to give some thread or yarn away. There's my email below the description box. There's my Facebook page that you can follow also, my Facebook group, my Instagram, my TikTok. So there's so many ways you can message me. Thank you so much, everybody. I hug every single one of you, and much blessings to all of you. Okay, let's get started. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and thank you so much to my new subscribers. Welcome. So today we're going to create this doily or placemat. This is a square one. I know that you can't really see on camera because the camera's too small for the size of this doily. Now, the good thing about this is you can make a long runner for whatever size of table you want, just by keep increasing by 4 rows. So that means 4, 8, 12, 16, and so on. Okay, so you can have the right amount to do after these loops here to create the motive around. Okay, so we're going to create this today. Now, how this works is I don't count how many chains I start with. You basically will get a measuring tape, and you'll measure more or less the chains when you're doing to the size that you would like it to be. Now remember, this is the centerpiece, because then you have 6 centimeters on each side, okay, to complete. So you have 6 and 6, that means 12. So it's bigger, it becomes 12 afterwards. So you start from, you know, your thread, let's say your chain, and you see the size that you would like. This one, it's 22 centimeters. And then, of course, I'm not counting the, you know, the rest is to be completed, okay? So I'm not going to count how many chain, but I have, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have 16 groups of 2 double crochet on the whiteness, okay? And I believe I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 31, 37 rows going up, okay, for this size. Now, like I said, if you want it larger, you just have to go larger on your strings. And if you want it lengthwise, you just continue up to the desired size you like, and you can make them in any color that you like, okay? Please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video if you like the video. Please share. Sharing is caring. And if you haven't looked at the video of my giveaway for Christmas, I will leave the link below in the description box, because I am giving away, like every year, little token of my love to some of you winners that participate, of course, on that video. You must comment, like, and you have to be a subscriber. That's the rules. So I will leave the link below, and you can go to the description box below the video, click on the giveaway link, go directly there, like, comment, and you're in. So I can take your names from the comments in that video, put it into a paper, and of course fold it up and have the draw on the 17th of December. Good luck to every one of you, and we're going to get started. I'm going to use a 2.75. Normally I use a 3.5 or a 3, but I'm comfortable with the 2.75, so that makes it a little bit smaller than usual. I will be using the red, and I'll also be using the gold bling bling, and of course the off-white. If you find that the video is too fast for you, please, in the description box and all of my videos, there's a link. If you don't know how to slow down the video, you click there. It's a 2-minute or minute and a half video that I show you how to slow down the video. It's the easiest thing ever, so you can take notes. I know sometimes I'm in my bubble and I'm a fast crocheter and I seem to forget that I'm recording, so I apologize for that. And you turn your closed caption on so you can read, take notes, pause. It makes it easier on every single one of you, okay? Okay, so 4-ply, 100% cotton thread, little scissors to tuck in, cut the leftover threads, and a small hook to tuck in loose ends. That's very important, of course. And let's get started. So the thing you want to do is trying to cut a little bit of light here, because then it becomes too bright. I'm going to do the slip stitch knot. That never counts on any project that you do. And I'm going to start doing chain stitch. Okay. So I'm not counting. I'm just going to measure the 22 centimeters like that one and take it from there. Okay, so I'll come back to you on it. Okay, you guys, so I've done my chain, and of course, doing the chain, as I said, I didn't count. Now, here is 27 centimeters, and I prefer it to be longer than the 22 centimeters because we can take it down when it's long, but we can't extend if it's short. So from here, automatically we're already cutting down because we have to go back 4 space. So 1, 2, 3 on your 4th space. Actually, I'm going to go on my 5th space, and I'm going to do a double crochet. So we have the first group. Just lower this a bit here. The first group. I don't know if I have my little light on. We'll check in a second. Chain 2. I'm going to skip 1, 2 space, and I'm coming into the 3rd space and create a double crochet, next space, a double crochet, and then 2 chain, then again skip 1, 2 on my 3rd space. I'm going to create another double crochet, next space, another double crochet. So I want to have 16 groups. Now it all depends of the wideness you want to go with your pattern. You can go even bigger, like I said. Skip 1, 2 on my 3rd one, double crochet, next space, again. So I'm creating groups of 2 double crochet. I want 16 of them. It doesn't matter if my string is too long because then we can take it off from the bottom. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone. So I've done my 16 and I'm just okay right at the end. As far as I can remember, like I said, it doesn't mean anything with chains, but I believe I did 64 chains at the start. Now I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4 chain. For some of you, maybe 5 chain if your stitch is too tight. I'm coming into the next space and creating those groups. So this is the easiest centerpiece to create because you just basically 2 chain space into the next and creating the groups of 2 double crochet, 2 chain. Now, like I said, you can go the desired length you'd like. Now, I believe on that one, like I mentioned, I have 37 rows, but I'm going to go only to 35 rows, okay? Because that one I had to make a few adjustments on the outer side due to the stitching, right? So I'm going to try to see if it works better with 35 rows instead of 37. Okay, so all you have to do is just continue to do the same thing until whatever desired length you'd like, okay? So you've come to the end. You do your 2 chains, and then you come on the 3rd space on your last double crochet to create that last square. Okay, very important. Now, a lot of times people seem to forget always the last stitch. So a lot of times I see a lot of questions in the groups. Why is my pattern going narrow? It's because you're missing the last stitch. So you go up 3 chain and into the space, you create your group. 2 chain, next space, and then you continue on. So very simple. So basically you're creating at the beginning the 2 groups, and then of course the next row will be the 4 chain, and you're going to hook it exactly like we did here on the last chain, right? So 2 chain space, 2 double crochets inside of the square. I'll meet you at the end for one more shot. So basically we're reaching the end. We're going to do one inside of the square, and you must do the next one right on top of that chain we did, right? Can't forget that, or else you are going to curve. You're going to be missing. So chain 4 again and create your groups. Chain 2 into the next one with 2 double crochet. I'm going to continue mine, and then I'll come back to you after my 35th row. Okay, you guys, so I have 35 rows. I'm going to try it this way because I had to do adjustment on the other one. And I'm sure I'll probably have to do adjustment on this one, but most probably a little bit less than I did with the other one. Okay, so we are facing the right side, obviously, because we did start with the groups and we finished with the groups. So we know we are on the right side. Okay, now we're going to come in here and we're going to do a single and another single on the last double crochet there. So we're going to work the side. I'm going to come in the next space and do 2 singles. Next space, 2 singles. Now, because I know I have to make an adjustment, I'm going to have to do an increase. So I'm going to do 3 singles on this one. I'm going to do 2 because I have to do an increase 4 times. Okay, so I'm going to do again 3 singles on this one. So I have my 2 increases. I'm going to do 2 singles. I'm going to do 2 singles here so it doesn't look so obvious. Do 2 singles here, and the next one I'm going to do 3 singles. My third increase, I'm going to do 2 singles. And you can pretty much do these singles anywhere, or the increase anywhere you want it on here. So I'm going to do my last increase here on this one. Doesn't matter where you put it, as long as you add those 3 singles 4 times, okay? And continue. So I did my 4 already. Or did I? Yes, I did. I did my 4th one. So now we're just going to continue to do the 2 singles until the end of the side here. I'll meet you at the end of the side. So I've done my last 2 here. We're coming right on the corner. Now we're going to do an increase of 5 singles in this corner. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to turn to the edge and we're going to continue to do the singles. I also have to do an increase here. Just check my other one if I did. I'm not sure if I did it on here. Okay, so we did 2 singles. That's my first increase. I have to do an increase here too. So yes, we are doing single over the double crochet, 1 single, next space, single. And if you notice, I did only 1 single on the space because I did 1 increase here. Next space, single on top of the double crochets, 1 per space, and I'm going to do 2 singles here. So I've done 2 increases. I think I should be good, and if not, we'll do an adjustment as we go along. No biggie, right? And then we continue all the way to the corner, not remembering that the 2 adjustments we did here with the increase, we must do at the other edge the same thing. And the 4 increase we did here, we must do here. So you can choose anywhere, separate them. It's perfect, okay? Coming to the corner, we must do 5 double crochets. So I'll meet you there at the corner. So I've reached the end. I'm coming. No, I didn't. I'm almost at the end. So last one. So we have 1. I'm going to do another increase here to make sure. 2. One on top of the double crochet. And then right at the edge, I'm going to do 5 inside of the space. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I did my 3 increases on this side. I just want to make sure. I prefer to skip them than to be short, if you know what I mean. Okay, so you know that we're working on the side now. We must do the 4 increases. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to do 2. Next space, and it doesn't matter where you're going to do your increase. Next space, 2 singles. Next space, 2 singles. Now the next one I'm going to start doing my increase, which will be my first one. So 3 singles, and then again 2 singles. Next space, 2 singles. Next space, 2 singles. Next space I'm going to add 3 singles. So this is my second increase. Next space, 2 singles. Next space, 2 singles. I'm just separating them now. And I'm going to do 3 on this one. So I have my third increase. All I need is 1 more. And you can put it anywhere you like. So it's 2 per space. I just like to do the increase where the space of the squares are, because then it's not too tight in that double crochet. I'm going to do my last one. So my 4th increase is in, and we must do the same thing at the edge, 2 increases. Okay, everything else is 2 singles per space. Okay, I'll meet you at the end. So I've come to the end. I'm going to go directly into the corner and do my 5 singles. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to come in the next space and do 2. So here's my first increase, 2 singles. And then 1 single, next space on top of the double crochets, singles, 1 single, and again I'm going to do 2 singles here. So here's my second increase. I don't have to worry about it anymore. It doesn't matter where you put it. Whoops, almost made a mistake of putting another one. So 1 per space. Okay, I'll meet you here at the corner, because we started only with 2 singles, so we need to do 3 more to have a total of 5. Okay, so we've reached the end. I'm coming in where we started those 2 singles. I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3. So now we have the 5. I'm coming in the first single we did, and I'm going to close it up with a slip stitch. So we have 5 singles in there. I'm going to go up, chain 1 into the same space I've done a single. Next space. So this row will be all about singles all the way around, but we'll have an increase in the corners. So it's 1 single per space. So nothing to go wrong about. Just doing singles all the way around. Coming to the corner, we'll have an increase. Instead of 5 singles, we'll be doing 6. So that means we'll be adding 2 together on the same space. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so I've came into my first single. I don't know if maybe this will like not shadows and not whiten out too much. Oh my goodness. So my first single on the corner, I'm doing my second, and now here on my third I'm going to add 2 together. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, into the next one. Now 1 per space. So now we'll be having 6 singles on the corner by adding 2 together on the third one. We're going to repeat this all the way around the same way. Just make sure your 4 corners have the 6 singles. Everywhere else is a single per space. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end of all my singles. So I've come to the end. I've done 2 singles in the corner already. Remember, we went up with 1 chain and 1 single, so we have 3 singles here, plus the 2 I did is 5. I'm going to come back where we did that 1 chain and single in the same space, and I'm going to close it up. Now I'm going to walk, I call it the walk, to the first one here. So we've closed in on our first single, so I'm doing the walk with a slip stitch right to the edge. So basically right on the first one inside of the little square here. Okay, I'm going to pull my string. Now this is optional for you if you want to do this or not, but it's much easier to do it now because there's not too much of the pattern going on. I'm going to add my gold into the pattern. Now with my gold, I've done a slip stitch knot, but I left a little bit of string. I don't want it to be too short. Okay, you can start anywhere, but I'm just going to start here just so we don't get all confused. I'm going to pull a little bit. I'm going to come in between the singles, the first row of the single and the second row of the single. So I'll show you in a second. Just trying to get my threads here out of the way. Just pulling my thread here so I can hide it afterwards. Anyway, it doesn't really matter because I'll hide it. I'll pull it with the string after. Okay. With my hook, I should say. So now we're going to go into the next single. And we're just going to slip stitch. Now, don't tighten it too much because then it's going to pull too much on the pattern. You don't want it too loose, but you don't want it too tight either. Make sure you're not grabbing that off-white one, or else it's a problem. Okay, so just slip stitch on each little space between the first row of the singles and the second. We have those spaces there. We're pretty much just slip stitch through it all the way around the same way. So be careful on your tension. You don't want it too loose. It's going to look sloppy. And if you tighten it, it's going to pull on the pattern. So that's not going to be pretty either. So you got to have your tension right on point. And you can do this with whatever colors you want. It doesn't have to be on this bling gold that I have. And especially with this one, this is a much thinner thread. So I really have to like loosen my tension here, because since it's a thinner thread, it pulls too much on the pattern. This is like a little bit thicker than Aunt Lydia number 10, this gold one. And my 4-ply, which is the off-white, it's a little bit thinner than Aunt Lydia number 3, which makes perfect for placemats, the Aunt Lydia number 3. And that's what you should be using to get this size, or at least close enough to this size that I have. If you're using number 10 Aunt Lydia for everything, then you have to go way up on rows because it's a very thin thread, unless you triple the thread. Or so you can do that, double or triple, to get a better pattern. Okay, so we're going to do these singles like that all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end. Not singles, slip stitch, sorry. Okay, everyone, so we're pretty much on the last one, and I'm just going to go in exactly on the first one that we started so we can connect. Now I'm going to cut my thread a little bit longer. I'm just going to pull. I'm going to grab my smaller hook. I'm going to turn to the back and I'm going to get my threads into the back part. Okay? And my hook is a little bit small. I don't want to pull too much on it or else threads start coming up apart. So I'm pulling my second one here if I can get to it. Okay, so now I'm going to try to make a knot. That's why it was important to leave a little bit of the thread at the beginning so we can do like 2 knots on it. I'm going to do my second knot, and I've already have the hot gun glue warming up. You don't have to do it. I like to do it to make sure that nothing comes apart. So I like to glue just a tip here at the edge of this knot that I'm going to do. Just like that. Now, actually, no, I'm going to come through the gold here, 1 or 2 of them, very close by. We don't want nothing to come apart, so we want to make sure that we're good with this. So I'm just pulling the strings 1 to each side. Especially that this is like a nylon sort of thread. Can't even explain what kind of thread this is. Okay, now I'm going to cut and not really close. I'm going to leave like a little edge on it. Let's see if my... Now, this doesn't take much. It just takes... Now it's already hot already. I didn't even have to push the little button to get any glue out. This is right at the tip. So I glue that little tip. Make sure that it doesn't fall apart. So I'm just compressing a bit on this glue. This is transparent glue. It's the best for any pattern. Okay, so we're done with the gold part so far at the beginning here, of course. And how stunning that looks. It's just a beautiful bling bling. I know it's kind of hard to see on camera, but what can I say? You have to trust my word. Okay, so we've pretty much did that. We came into the first one here. Now I'm going to go up 1 chain and back in the same space where we came at and did a single. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 chain. I'm going to skip 1, 2. I'm going to come into my third one. So we're going to be creating loops all the way around. 1, 2, 3. Again, skip 1, 2, and 3. And this is where we probably have to make an adjustment. That's why I had to do the increases. 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to continue to do these loops all the way to the edge and see if it fits perfect. If not, we have to make an adjustment, skip only 2 or 1. We'll see how it goes. Okay, you guys. So I'm near the end. And my first single inside of the corner is right here. So 1, 2 on my third one. 1, 2, and 3. So 1, 2, and 3. So that was pretty good, the adjustment I did already at these singles was just perfect. Now we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chain. We're going to skip all of the 6 double crochets we have here, singles we have here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we're going to come into our 7th single, which is right on top basically of this double crochet there. So we pretty much did a single on the 7th one. We're going to do chain 3. Now I'm going to have to cheat here a bit in order for it to fall properly. So I'm going to skip 1, 2, 3. I'm going to come in my 4th. Okay? And then chain 3 again. So it's always chain 3. I'm going to skip 1, 2. I'm coming into my 3rd. 2, 3. Into my 3rd. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm coming into my 4th again. I have to cheat, I think, twice. I'm going to go into my 3rd. I'll cheat on the next one to have it more. So on my 4th one, so I've skipped 3, went into my 4th on the first one. 1, 2, I went into the 3rd. 1, 2, I went into the 3rd. 1, 2, I went into the 3rd. And on my 1, 2, 3, 4, on my 5th chain, I went into the 4th. Okay, let me just verify. I'm going to continue to do my 3s and see if it works out at the end. If not, I will have to make an adjustment at the end also. Oh, why am I doing doubles? Not smart. Was I? Because we're so used to working with doubles that becomes automatically in our brain, right? So I'm skipping my 3s, and I'm going to go all the way to the end and see if I need to make an adjustment. Okay, you guys, so I was doing the last one. I can see that I will have to cheat here. So instead of skipping 2, 3, going into the 3rd, I'm going to come into my 4th. 1, 2, 3 on my 4th. 1, 2, and 3, and again 1, 2, 3 on my 4th. So I had to do 2 cheats. So let's just recap that. Make sure. So we did the single on the 7th of the 6th of the corner. We skipped 3, we went into the 4th. We skipped 2, we went into the 3rd. Skip 2 into the 3rd. Skip 3, no, skip 2 into the 3rd, sorry. Skip 3 into the 4th. Skip 2 into the 3rd. 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 And the last 2 we skip 4. Okay, so we're going to continue. We're going to do the 8 chain again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we're going to come exactly right on top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 on your 7th one. It falls right on top of the edge here. Okay, so 8 chain, and we're going right on top of that one there. And then we're going to continue again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 on my 3rd one. So it's going to be a repeat exactly how we did here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end, and we'll have, if we have to do an adjustment, we will, right? Okay, you guys, as you recall and remember, we needed 23 like we have here on this side. So done my 23. I've skipped 1, 2, 3 in my fourth one on the last one. Chain 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to come exactly where the double crochet here, but you can count if you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to come into my 7th, okay? And it falls right on top. And then again, 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to skip 1, 2, 3. I'm coming into my fourth one. Now, I forgot to mention here on the edge, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 loops. So we must have 14 loops on the other edge. And you can pretty much fix it wherever you want it. Just make sure it's spread out. If you have to skip like a few, like don't overdo it all in the same space. 1, 2, 3. So we had 4 adjustments on here if I'm not mistaken. So I've done my first one already at the beginning with the skipping 3 going into the 4th. On my second one I skipped 2, went into the 3rd. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm coming into the 4th. 1, 2, and 3. So I have my 2 adjustments already. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm coming into the 4th. So I have my 3 adjustments. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I have my 4th adjustment. Let me see how many I have here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3. 12. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I think I'm too much. So I'm just going to go back where I did that adjustment, the last one, and I'm not going to do the adjustment. 1, 2, I'm going into my 3rd instead of my 4th. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We need 14. This is my 12. 13, and now we're perfect. And I'm coming in 1, 2, and 3. And then do your 8 chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And coming into the first single we did here with the chains. Okay? So, on the sides, we need 23 loops. You can fix them anywhere you'd like. Let's make it easier on you. And on the edge, we need 14 loops. Fix it anywhere you want it on the edges too. It makes no difference on the pattern. Okay? So on to the next step. Okay, so we're going to come in the center of this first loop. So we are on the side, okay, with a single. And then I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3. Just check here to make sure that we are good. Okay, so we have the single. Let me just confirm this. Okay, so we did a single, 3 chain. We're coming into the next loop with a single. Now, we're going to go directly into the next loop, and we're going to do let me just check how many. 8 double crochets. So we have 3. You can make less if you want. If you want to make only 6, that's fine too. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'm coming directly into the next loop with a single, and it's going to be like this all the way around. Chain 3 into the next loop, single, and then 8 double crochets again. This makes perfect Christmas gifts or selling them. These are beautiful placemats you can do. So single in the next one. So it's just a repeat now. 1, 2, 3, chain, and single into the next one directly and create your 8 double crochet. So we're going to repeat this all the way to the end. Two, 4, 6, 8 directly, single, chain 3 into the next one, single, and then directly and do your 8 double crochets. So basically we'll have 1 loop chain between them. Okay, I'll meet you at the end. Now we've reached the end, and of course we did our 3 chains, our single, and now we come directly into the corner. That's why these adjustments have to be made so it can fit perfectly as it's supposed to be. So we're going to do 10 double crochets in the corners only. Everywhere else is 8 double crochets. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and even if you want to do 12, you can. Okay, so we have 10. I'm coming directly into the next one with single, chain 3. So it's just a repeat now. Just remember that on your sides and edges is 8 double crochets, corners are 10, but you can do 12 if you want to. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Single, 3 chain into the next one, and directly and create your 8 again. Okay, so we've done the single, 3 chain, single, and directly, single, 3 chain, single, and directly, and create your 8 double crochets. I'll meet you at the end. So we've reached the end. I did my single, and I'm coming in the corner and create my 10 double crochets. Now you understand why we needed to make those adjustments so we can have the perfect fit for these motifs, or else it wouldn't happen. 2, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And again, directly into the next one. We're on the side again. 1, 2, 3. Single and directly into your double crochets, which is 8. We only do 10 on the 4 corners. Now I'm going to let you know how many of those groups that we did of the double crochets. Okay, so not counting the corners, we have 4 on the edge. Not counting corners, we have 4. On the sides, not counting corners, we have 2, 4, 6, 7. 2, 4, 6, 7. So we have 7 motifs, not counting corners, just from here on. 7. And we have 4 on the sides. Okay, these are just perfect sizes for placemats. I love this pattern. Okay, so we're going to continue on, and you're going to repeat the same thing until we get to the end here. Don't forget we have the single here, so we have to close in where the single is. Okay. Okay, you guys, so we've reached the end. I'm coming where I have the first single that we did with a slip stitch. Okay, so now we have 4 on this side, 4 on this side, and 7 on the side of the pattern. 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay, now, okay, so next we're going into the space of the 3 chain with a single. I'm going to skip the first double crochet, and I'm coming into the second double crochet. Okay, 1 chain, next space, double crochet, 1 chain, next space, double crochet, 1 chain. We're going to have a total of 6 double crochets by skipping the first double crochet and the last double crochet, and 1 chain space between them. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops, and I made a mistake here, didn't I? No, I didn't. I was counting the chain. Sorry. So this is what we have to be careful, because where this chain is of the 3 that we did the single, sometimes it looks like, and it's supposed to look like it's a double crochet. So basically it's like having the 8 back on, but it will be with the chain. Do you understand? So we come into the first double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Why do I keep getting the wrong? Oh, good heavens. 1. Oh, because I keep counting this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My Lord, I keep counting the 3 chain, not the 3 chain. So if we move the 3 chain, I have 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We have to move this 3 chain. This is part of the single here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're coming directly into the 3 chain again. We're skipping the first double crochet and we're going into the second. So we'll have 6 double crochets again. Only on the corners we'll do the 10 double crochets. So 1 chain space between them. I'm on my 3rd double crochet and I have a knot here. It's when I pull too much thread. Crazy enough, if we need to make a knot, it's almost nearly impossible, right? And these spontaneous knots, well, Okay, now that I've gotten my knot out, so we have 3, 1 chain, 4, 1 chain, 5, 1 chain, and 6. So we don't do the first double crochet and we don't do the last double crochet. We come directly into the 3 chain here space, and again skip the first into the second. So we're going to do this all the way to the corner. When we get to the corner, we're doing the 10 double crochet. The only difference is on the sides and on the edges we'll be having 6 only double crochets. So skipping the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and skipping the last. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so I've reached the end. We are doing the 10th, so we are not skipping any. Okay, doing 1 per space. So we'll have our 10 double crochets. And then everything else stays the same. You skip the first and you skip the last. Now after this, I am going to cut my thread because I'm going to proceed with the red. But before I do the red, I'm going to do exactly what we did here. I'm going to do in between these 2. Okay, so you can make it easier. Now that's optional again for you. So as you can see, it's just perfect. 10 and 6, and we'll do the 6s on the sides also. Only the corners will have the 10 double crochets. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so I've done my 10 on the corner. I'm coming into the first single we did, remember, on the 3 chain with a slip stitch, and I'm cutting my thread. I'm going to tuck in my loose end, so I'm turning it to the back. I'm just going in through the stitches back here just to hide it a bit. You can make a knot. Usually I make knots. Some people don't like to do that. I prefer to do it to make sure that nothing comes apart. It doesn't hurt to have a knot or 2 there. You can't even see it, so but whatever way you prefer to tuck in your loose ends, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to come back in with my gold. We are going to leave a little bit of string so we can tie it at the end. So don't start it too close to the edge. Slip stitch knot, so I've left enough string for it. You can start anywhere you'd like. So we're just going to come in where we have the first row here of the double crochets here. Whoops, wrong. I have to grab it from the back. Like that. Into the next one, trying to hold my thread, and slip stitch. That's all there is to it. And then we'll tie it at the end and put a little bit of glue like we did with the other one. I think I put 2 in the same space. Not a smart idea, right? Try that again. Okay, into the next space, slip stitch, into the next space, slip stitch. Now be careful with your tension. You don't want it too tight nor too loose, or it will look sloppy. If it's too tight, it's going to pull on the pattern. So you should have control of your tension for this. Into the next space. So that's where we have the single. I'm just going to continue on putting it in here. Well, actually in between, whatever makes it easier on us, right? So into the next space again. Well, I don't think I did a good job there, did I? No, I didn't. Okay, let's try that again. Yeah, I'm just going to go into the space here. I think that's the best option. Directly into the space and give it some thread and just pull my way through. Yeah, really was the best option. Sometimes it doesn't click on the first time. It'll click on the second, right? Can't be perfect on everything. Well, at least I know I'm not. I try to do my best, but I'm far from being perfect. I make a lot of mistakes myself. This is not put in the proper place. So you have to be careful when you're slip stitching that you're doing the exact row and not skip to the top row, because that has happened to me. Into the single, into the space, and to the single, and we continue on into the double crochets. Okay, so just slip stitch through it. So basically we went into the square space, and that's how we're going through it. I'll meet you at the end. Corners are the same way, everything the same way, all the way around. Okay, you guys, so as you can see, I pretty much finished doing all that gold, and I did glue it a little bit in the back, okay, which it doesn't matter if it stays a little bit thickness from the glue. We better be safe than sorry. I prefer it that way. So I'm coming in now with the red. We're almost done. We have 2 more rows left, the red and then the peacocks. So I'm coming in between the first and the second double crochet. I'm doing a single and 2 chain. Okay, just want to make sure we have enough lighting here. I'm going to come back in to the same space and do another double crochet. I'm going to do 1 chain, coming into the next space. Let's try that again. We have to keep the last one on the hook. So take out only 2, come back. So it's like 2 halves, and then close it. 1 chain into the next space, half double crochet, another half, and we close it. 1 chain space, come back in, half, second half, and we close it. Let's just see if we have enough lighting here. Sometimes it's light. 1 chain. Half, and close it. So basically you're doing 2 half double crochets, then closing at once. 2 halves and closing it. 1 chain space. 2 halves, closing, 1 chain. We are on the last one. We're getting into the side. We're going directly in between the first and the second. and doing the halves again and closing. One chain, the two halves and closing. One chain, next space, the two halves and closing. We're going to do this all the way around, and then we're going to cut our thread and come back with the off-white or whatever color you're using. And we go directly from one motif to the next. And this is what it looks like. Of course, once it's stretched, blocked, ironed, whatever you do to yours to block it. I use laundry softener, and I just spray on. I stretch. If I'm on a hurry, I'll light iron over it as I'm stretching with the laundry softener over it. If I'm not in a hurry with it, I spray, I stretch it well, and I just lay it flat somewhere to dry. And it smells good and ready to go, and people enjoy it, and they love the smell of it, no matter what, whatever laundry softener you use. This is how I block my patterns. Some of you already know that through some other videos, and some of you that are new don't know, but that's how I block my patterns, and it's the easiest way without any hassles, and it smells good, especially for you women that are selling, because there's quite a few yous on my channel that are selling. It's the best way. You want to spray, stretch it out nice and even with both hands, let it dry, or just lighten iron over it, a little bit of steam, stretches out. It's just perfect, nice and smell. And then you would fold it up and pack it in soft paper, nice little box. And if you have your cards or your little, I don't know, how do you call it, the labels with your name and who the creator and whatever, whatnot. It's just perfect packing. Okay, so I'm going to continue to do all of mine, and then we'll come back with, well, actually, I can show you the peacock, because then all I have to do is block it and take some pictures, and we're good to go. So once you've done all of the red all the way around, of course, everybody should know already the peacock. And of course, I had to make a knot here on my thread, as usual, you know. It's just the way it is. So you know that these ones are all the same everywhere. It doesn't change. You go directly from one to the other until the end and cut your thread. And then you'd come in between again the groups, and you do your single. Now you could even use the gold on here if you want. So one chain, two chain, and three chain. Come into your first one and do your peacock. Come into the second, single, three chain, into the first single, peacock, into the next one. So it's just peacocks everywhere, nothing to it. Okay, and I'll show you when I get here. So I'm into my last one. Still here from the corner. And I'm going to come in between them, and I'm going to do a single, okay? And then come back again into between the first and the second, and start creating your peacocks again. So it's just very simple as that, nothing to it. And like I said, you could have come in with the gold too. It would look Gorgeous. Come in between the motifs and single. So this is what it would look like. So I want to thank every single one of you. So let's just count before I close off. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the motifs on the sides and the edges. Okay. Thank you, everyone. God bless you. Stay safe. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And do not forget that bell notification. I want to thank for the women that came through with a super chat or super thanks donation. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot to me. Thank you. And for the ones that are interested to help out the women in need, please don't hesitate. Please do help. Okay? Thank you, everyone. Until next time, bye-bye.